Alright, everybody. Here we go. This is part 2 of the Colorado assault weapons ban, and how wonderful this ban really isn't. So, let's start right here. Legislative declaration. A. Mass shootings are an American epidemic that no other industrialized country experiences at remotely the same level. Yeah, possibly. But there's Mexico, and there's cartels. Do we want to talk about mass shootings in Colombia, where they're not tracked? Do we want to talk about mass shootings in the Middle East? Do we want to talk about mass shootings wherever no one cares about mass shootings? No, we don't want to talk about that. Basically, what we want to talk about is what we experience here. And what we experience here is not the information we get from the rest of the world. Mass shootings happen everywhere. There was an enormous mass shooting in Europe just a number of years ago, 15 years ago. Don't tell me that this is just an American problem. This is a mental health problem, and we're not helping anything with mental health in this bill or ever. No one gives a crap about mental health. B. Statistics show that each year, 19 through 22, there was on average more than one mass shooting per day. What do you imagine that mass shooting number is going to be when you take Chicago and New York and Philadelphia and Baltimore or New Orleans or any of these places? What are those numbers going to be when you start taking those out? It's nothing. Mass shootings are opportunistic, and they're opportunistic for a reason. They attack places they know they won't be similarly attacked. We all know this. Gun-free zones, freaking movie theaters, soft targets, they're always opportunistic. And we don't even have to get into the school shooting in Texas, because, my God, every one of those police officers should be charged. They were all accomplices. I don't even give a fuck. So, yeah, we have mass shootings. It happens. Sadly enough, we don't give two shits about our communities. We don't give two shits about the people. And you expect the people to, what? Not have mental health problems? Colorado has been the location of several mass shootings perpetrated with an assault weapon. You can say that about every state. Every state has criminals that do criminal things with weapons. It's not a Colorado unique thing. It's not a Colorado high thing. It's a criminal thing. Assault weapons and high-capacity magazines were disproportionately used in mass shootings. Yeah. And, before that, what about the gang wars in the 1990s? Yeah, they used pistols. Shockingly enough. You're gonna fucking chase every little nuance, every little pistol grip, trying to enact some sort of legislation? You're fooling yourself if that's what you're after, but I think we know that's not what they're after. We can see by court records, prosecutions, they're not after reducing crime. If they were after reducing crime, they wouldn't release criminals back onto the street immediately after committing the crime to go commit more crimes. We read about it every day in the news. It's not shocking that you're getting this response. You're treating criminals like they didn't break the law. They'll go break the law again. High-capacity magazines are a red herring. Whoop-de-doo. Assault weapons in civilian hands endanger Colorado streets. No, they don't. Assault weapons in criminals' hands endanger the streets. You know what makes the streets safer? It's another motherfucker with a gun. That's what makes the streets safer. Look at the diner shooting down in Texas. The diner shooting down in Texas was absolutely the right plan of attack for criminals. You come into a place, you want to do criminal shit, you're gonna get the fucking criminal shit right back at you. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna die on the floor. You're gonna bleed out while people laugh at you. I have no fucking remorse for that bullshit, and neither should anybody else. But taking away innocent people's guns, saying, oh, don't shoot them, just give up your money. No, absolutely fucking not. Streets, stores, restaurants, yeah, that's where criminals should die. All those places. Let's talk about places of worship. How about the church in Texas? Yeah, it was a disgrace that evil piece of shit managed to kill a couple of people before the innocent victims of his shooting stood up and shot him. Music venues? Yeah. What do we know about that Las Vegas shooting? Have we heard anything lately about that? Where are you, FBI? Are you trying to set up more people and kidnapping plots? Or are you ignoring more phone calls about school shooters? Let's talk about that school shooting down in Florida where the FBI ignored calls that they received from people saying, this dude's got problems. Thank you, FBI. You're doing the Lord's work. Assault weapons are uniquely lethal due to tactical features. So, let's get this straight. Designed for the battlefield in order to injure and kill large numbers of people quickly and efficiently. So, you don't want people to defend themselves quickly and efficiently. Because this law does nothing for criminals. Criminals are going to criminal. That's what they do. That is their job. You are specifically attacking law-abiding citizens. You're saying, hey, we can't control the criminals, but if we take the guns out of your hands, we can make more victims. No, fuck you. I'm not going to be a damn victim. These features include detachable magazines. God forbid you have enough ammunition to neutralize the threat against you. Barrel shrouds, pistol grips. Do you know what a barrel shroud is? A rifle is meant to be held with two fucking hands. There are no one-handed rifles. And what you're saying right here is, I don't care. Burn yourself. It's the law. We will make it difficult for you. Barrel shrouds. Pistol grips. My God. How dare you have firm control of your weapon? Are you kidding me? Forward grips. Telescoping stocks. God forbid you're shooting comfortably. Wow. It's honestly, it's amazing how asinine politicians are. Because I can guarantee you we can go talk to every single one of these politicians. They probably don't know what half the stuff is. And yet, it's in their bill. It's amazing. So, telescoping stocks, which allows shooter to either conceal the weapon or make it easier to fire a high volume of ammunition. Okay, here we go. There's a concealed firearm. Standard capacity, single stack magazine, but I can change out the magazine and shoot. What's wrong with this? Why isn't this banned? This is way more concealable than any rifle or any rifle-styled pistol made. Period. The end. But this comes back to the whole short-barreled rifle thing, where if you don't know the history of the short-barrel rifle rule, it's actually kind of interesting. The government actually wanted to ban handguns. And it was said, well, if you're going to ban handguns, what's going to stop a criminal from cutting a rifle down into something that he can conceal? So they said, oh, okay, well, we'll make short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns illegal too. And then when they realized that they probably weren't going to be able to legally ban handguns, they just dropped the handgun provision and left the short-barreled rifle. All of this is a joke. This is utterly a joke. So, what's even funnier about the joke is if you actually know the law says a short-barreled rifle is anything under a barrel length of 16 inches. Okay? A short-barreled shotgun is anything shorter than 18 inches. Why is there a discrepancy? Why is one short and one not? Well, the original law, they were both 18 inches. But the government screwed up royally in the, I believe it was the 1960s, when they surplused off a large volume of M1 carbines into private hands. Something on the order of about 1 million rifles were surplused out to the public through the military surplus programs with 16 3/4 inch barrels. They made 1 million people felons overnight. The government legally made them felons overnight. And they actually, in the 1960s, I think did the right thing, where they actually said, oops, that's a mulligan on us. We'll change it so the barrel length's just a little bit shorter than an M1 carbine. It's asinine. The entire premise of rifles and pistols and concealability, it's all asinine. You look at any gangland shootings, which most mass shootings are gangland shootings, just nobody wants to admit it. Most of them are Chicago weekends. They're all handguns. It's not even close. The last reputable information I heard was it 3% or something on the magnitude of 3% of gun crime is committed with a rifle. That's not even a speck on the radar. But here they are, yet again, attacking the rifles. Oh. Which allow the shooter to either conceal the weapon or make it easier to fire a high volume of ammunition in a short period of time while maintaining accuracy. God for fucking bid, we maintain accuracy in our shooting. Are you serious? Like, you actually wrote this line that... Because let's be absolutely clear about this. This is not criminals they're talking about. This is you. This is the law-abiding American citizen saying they don't want you to have a high volume of ammunition, and they don't want you to have the ability to maintain accuracy. Everything in this bill is about you, the citizen. It's not about crime. They're not out there fighting crime. They're out there saying, you, the citizen, the person who would be legally buying this gun. It's insane. The design, features, and purpose of an assault weapon make it a firearm of choice for mass shooters. Yeah, and those same benefits, the design features, are what make it the firearm of choice of people defending their ass. Are you fucking kidding? Is that why all the police departments carry AR-15s? Is because the police departments are full of mass shooters? We see the police running around with AR-15s. We see the government running around with the M16s and their variants. Are they all mass shooters? What's the difference? You're giving an 18-year-old an M16 or M4, giving them way more firepower than that in all reality. Are they all mass shooters? Oh. But we're the ones that need to be brought under heel. The typical assault weapon bullet leaves the barrel of the gun 3 times faster than a typical handgun bullet. Do I really need to preach to the church? You're a fucking moron. Are you kidding? My God. My rifle rounds, I can tell you right now, my 54R loads, they run about 2,400 feet per second. What's a 9mm? Actually, up to 1,500 feet per second. That's 900 feet per second more. My rifle is 900 feet per second more than a 9mm. It's not even twice as fast. It's less than twice as fast. But I can tell you it's way more devastating than a 9mm. Why? Because it's a damn rifle round. It's meant to be a devastatingly large round. It's the whole point of the rifle round. It's why they're used in hunting and not 9mm. My God. I think we have all seen videos of people that have absorbed dozens of 9mm rounds and lived. Not too many people are absorbing 1 or 2 high-power rifle rounds and living. There's a reason. It's called efficiency. We use 9mm for self-defense. We use rifles for self-defense. A rifle is a larger round. It is a larger cartridge. Yeah, guess what? That means it's going to go faster. It's going to do more damage. But 3 times the velocity. It's asinine. You literally have no idea what you're talking about. Is designed to fragment and tumble. I don't see that. Bullets that tumble are inefficient. They don't hit their target. Again, you don't have a freaking clue what you're talking about. Fragment? Yes. It's a hunting round. Guess what? You want a clean kill? You want a rather painless death on the animal? Yeah. The bullets fragment. They take out large organs and drop animals. It's what they're designed to do. And guess what? Yeah, semi-automatic weapons are used in hunting. There's a reason. Sometimes shots don't go off well. Sometimes the animal gets wounded. A second shot is sometimes necessary. It's not that shocking at all. The high velocity of the typical assault weapon bullet damages and destroys tissue. Now again, here's a process where I believe they also don't know what the F they're talking about. The velocity, I don't see that as what kills. The bullet does the damage. The higher the velocity, the more of a chance you have a pass-through. An assault weapon bullet is designed to stop the threat coming towards you. That's what it's designed to do. A modern sporting, don't care what the daily moniker is going to be, a semi-automatic rifle is designed to stop the threat in front of you. Period. Destroys tissue? I'm okay with that. If you're a threat, I'm gonna stop you. And I can tell you it's not going to be an AR-15. Causing organs to become liquefied. I literally don't have a clue what you're talking about. I've heard from our fabulous leaderlessness in Washington that a 9mm will blow the lungs out of your body. Which is worse? Liquefying or blowing them out of the body? Are we coming after 9mm next? Causing catastrophic internal bleeding. Yeah, that's the point. That is absolutely the point of the exercise. We're stopping the threat. And again, I really don't have a whole lot of remorse for criminals. So don't criminal. It's a real easy concept. If you don't criminal, you're probably going to be okay in life. If you criminal, you're not going to do so well. Notice there's no retirement programs for criminals. There's no Shady Acres retirement homes for criminals. They generally have a pretty short lifespan, or they learn their lesson real fucking quick. Internal bleeding, yeah, comes with the job. An analysis of mass shootings between 2009 and 2018 show that shootings when assault weapons were used were 6 times as many people were shot compared to those without. Okay. I think we all know the world of statistics. What is it? Lies, damn lies, and statistics? Yeah, we can parse out any statistic you want. Research shows that banning assault weapons leads to a drop in mass shootings and gun massacres. You never heard of Chicago? Never heard of Baltimore? Never heard of any of those places where assault weapons are banned? Yeah. I don't see any drop in mass shootings or gun massacres. And I think anybody else paying attention doesn't either. You know what drops freaking mass shootings and gun massacres? Polite, armed citizens. Period. If we're not going for the truth, might as well write down some lies in your bill. In the 10 years that the federal assault weapons ban was in place, gun massacres dropped 37%. All crime dropped. All crime was on the downturn from before the assault weapons ban was put into place federally. And if I remember correctly, semi-automatic firearms were not banned. They just had to have thumbhole stocks. And they were legal. Just had to have smaller magazines. And they were legal. But there were plenty of magazines out there. Again, you're leaving out some interesting facts in your assertion. State prohibitions on the sale, possession, and transfer of assault weapons are associated with a lower likelihood of mass shooting event. Okay. At this point, I think we're just lying to fill space. Here's the one that really gets me. A 50 caliber rifle. Why are we talking about a 50 cal? 50 cal is asinine. It's not used in crime. Homie ain't out there with a freaking Barrett. Are you kidding me? First off, they can't afford the ammunition. Second off, I don't think you've ever held a Barrett. They're not light. They're not small. They're not concealable. They're a motherfucker to hold, to shoulder, to fire. You better be a man. Barrett's going to cost you $10,000. Each round is going to cost you $5 to shoot. You think homie's out there protecting his stash with a Barrett? I'm dumbfounded. I can see where people are thinking unpure thoughts about their government and their government's desires when you put stuff like this in a bill. Why is it you don't want us to have a Barrett? Thank you, caffeine. Keep a motherfucker alive. So you want to ban 50 caliber Browning machine gun rounds. Unbelievable. But don't worry. They're not worried about all the other 50 caliber rounds. They're just worried about the 50 BMG. Wonder why that is. I don't see anybody saying the Desert Eagle is a huge threat to society. I can guarantee you there's a lot more Desert Eagles that are used in crime than there are Barretts. But don't worry, they're not coming for your muzzle loaders. This, it's amazing. So, here we go. A semi-automatic rifle has a capacity to accept a detachable magazine, or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. Gotta get those SKSs in there. God forbid. Following characteristics. A pistol grip. Okay? So they don't want you to hold your weapon stably. Any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held with the non-trigger hand. Okay? So you don't want stability in your rifle. Okay? We're seeing a pattern of how the government thinks they need to handicap you. You, the citizen. Sure seems like it's you, the peasant, at this point, doesn't it? Folding, telescoping, thumb hole, or detachable stock. Who gives a shit? Like, seriously. A folded AR is going to be more concealable than a pistol? It's asinine. Flash suppressor. You even know what a flash suppressor is? Or the function it actually does? No. They don't care. It's just another fancy term that they can put in their bill. And you better bet that they're going to get accolades at the next dinner party. Functional grenade launcher. They're really picking on the SKS here. Why are we worried about a functional grenade launcher? Do we have a lot of grenade crime in America? Are all these mass shootings precluded by a barrage of grenades? No. No, they're not. Once again, you pick the scary terms. I don't think anybody can even recall a grenade crime. I know off the top of my head, I can't recall a grenade crime in America. Why are you worried about a grenade launcher? Say you have one of those Yugo SKSs with a grenade launcher attachment. You have grenades? What's the point? It's just an attachment. It's like the morons that want to take bayonet lugs off rifles. I find that particularly egregious. No shock. I like my old bolt actions. I find it egregious that you want to take the bayonet lug off. We have a lot of bayonet crime in America. Homie running around bayoneting people, charging out of the freaking trenches. This is insane. Functional grenade launcher. Where are you getting grenades? It's like saying you're going to ban PVC pipe because there's a potato cannon crime. Who gives a shit? A shroud attached to the barrel, or that partially or completely encircles the barrel. I like how they put partially. I don't know if you've seen, there's a lot of rifles out there that have the just the underside. Yeah. We all know what that's about. Allowing the bearer to hold the firearm with the non-trigger hand without being burned. Seriously? You want gun owners to hurt themselves? Again, you're a moron. I'm literally... I'm in disbelief that these are the people who lead us. These are the people who we entrust with leadership. I tell you, I don't. These people are freaking functionally Riris. I don't know how else to put it. It is unbelievable how without intelligence this is. None of this has bearing on reality. You want to stop gun crime? So you're going to stop innocent civilians from defending themselves? That's how you stop gun crime? Because I can tell you, all the people that don't want to go to federal pound you in the ass prison, or state pound you in the ass prison, they're not going to be the ones driving across the border smuggling arms into Colorado. There's a whole bunch of people that keep getting released by our judicial system. They're the ones that are going to be smuggling them in. And who are they going to be selling them to? Other people that are called criminals. This is Chicago. This is how you make Chicago. A threaded barrel. What is a threaded barrel for? Anybody out there tell me? What do you put on a threaded barrel? Muzzle device? I use some. My bolt rifles? Some of my bolt rifles have threaded barrels. Yeah. Put a muzzle brake on it to lessen the recoil. Yeah. I also shoot a lot. And yeah, I do enjoy a good muzzle brake when they work. What else? What has a threaded barrel done to you? Why are you so offended by a threaded barrel? Because you don't say in here what the threaded barrel has to do with anything. Put a muzzle device on it. Put your dreaded flash hider on it because you think no one's going to see where the bullet's coming from with a flash hider. Are you insane? I can tell you what the precursor of this is going to be, or what this is the precursor to. It's suppressors. Yeah. We're going to be looking at suppressor bans because the silent assassins are everywhere and on every corner because suppressors are so easy to come by. You're insane. Actually, no. I feel sorry for people with mental issues. You're stupid. You don't even bother to learn basic intelligence. You know, from the point my children were born, well, whenever they got a phone, I told them, no one's gonna go out of their way to teach you shit. You have the world of knowledge at your fingertips. The combined knowledge of the world is at your fingertips. Learn how to use it. If you are curious enough to ask the question, you can find the answer. It's at your fingertips. Every answer to every question that we have answered is at your fingertips. These people write this bill are too lazy and too stupid to do a Google search? To look up information? These are our leaders. Just like Brandon in the White House. Oh, you weren't allowed to have a cannon back in the Revolutionary War. Are you fucking retarded? You have a goddamn college education, which I understand nowadays is basically daycare. Back in the day, college actually meant something, but I guess he was the bottom of the class because he didn't realize that the government partnered with civilians to get their cannons and their warships to freaking fight the British. There was no prohibition on cannons. I should take that back. I think there was one law, and it was so obscure, and I can't remember where I heard it. There was a law that said it was illegal to sell a cannon to anyone under the age of 14. I want to say I believe it was Virginia. Don't quote me on that. But I think that was a thing back in the Revolutionary times. Couldn't sell a cannon to a 14-year-old. Is that what he's fucking talking about? You can literally mail order a cannon to your doorstep. There's nothing illegal about it. It's far less regulated than anything else. Unbelievable. Semi-automatic rifles. So scary. There it is. The dreaded 50 caliber rifle. Because we have so much 50 BMG crime in this country. I was trying to find any data I could find on 50 BMG used in crime. You know what I found? I think there were 18 court cases involving 50 BMG, something along those lines. And every single one of them was in the recovery when they would raid someone's house, when they would raid a drug den, when they would raid such and such. Oh, they found a 50 cal. They weren't used in crimes, but people had them. You know why they weren't used in crimes? Because they're not very good at being a crime weapon. I don't know. Here's going to be the next fun part of our endeavor. So they start talking about pistols. And the pistols is going to be one that's going to be very hard to swallow for most people. I don't think anybody's expecting an asinine assault weapons ban to be pistols. Let's see, where is that start? A semi-automatic pistol that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine, or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine if the semi-automatic pistol has one or more of the following features. A threaded barrel. Why would you have a threaded barrel on a pistol? That makes it illegal? A second pistol grip. Now, got to admit, I'm not one that falls for the latest, greatest tactical attachments for my firearms, but a second pistol grip or additional feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand. I think we all know what they're talking about. They want to get rid of AR pistols and little Draco AKs and yep. A shroud attached to the barrel, or that partially or completely encircles the barrel. A semi-automatic pistol. Now let me tell you. You think the slide is the only part of a pistol that encompasses the barrel? I can tell you it's not. There's a lot of pistols out there that have frame supports that partially or completely encompass the barrel while the slide reciprocates without it. What about those? It's only 9mm. It's so much less damaging than a rifle round. Unless you're Joe Biden, then it'll blow the lungs out of your body, and we got to get rid of 9mm. A flash suppressor. Flash suppressor on a pistol. Let me tell you, if you're talking about an AR pistol or a little AK pistol, you're not going to hide that flash. That flash is going to be obscene. I've got a picture of me shooting a 16-inch 54R style AK. That flash in daylight was obscene. And I don't know how we managed to catch that frame. But that flash was obscene. You think a flash hider is going to hide something from a little AR pistol? Yep. Manufactured weight. I wonder if that... let's look at this. So... what is the weight of a Desert Eagle? Oh, 4.2 pounds. See if we can get that in ounces, so I can't convert anything. 67.2 ounces. So let me get this straight. You literally just made the Desert Eagle illegal. Unbelievable. Weight of 50 ounces or more. Well, guess I was wrong. They're coming after your Desert Eagle. Unbelievable. Now let's read a little further into this. Semi-automatic pistol that has a large capacity magazine. Semi-automatic shotgun that has one or more of the following features. Let me tell you. Shotgun with a pistol grip is illegal? I think they're just fucking with you at this point. Let me tell you, that's straight hunting. But then again, why do we need to hunt? I mean, we got the supermarket right there, and they got all the meat right there. I don't see why we need to hunt, right? Why do you need to be so bad to animals? Can't we all just go to King Soopers and get our meat? Oh, here's another one of my absolute favorites. A semi-automatic firearm that has the capacity to accept a belt ammunition feeding device. Got a lot of Rambos out there, evidently. Running around with your belt-fed machine guns, gunning everything down. At this point, I don't know what in God's creation we're doing listening to these people. If these are not just the straight up dumbest people on earth. Who's running around with a belt-fed machine gun? What crime? Has there ever been a crime committed with a belt-fed semi-automatic rifle? One? Ever? One? But don't worry, assault weapon does not include any firearm that has been made permanently inoperable. Yeah, that'll be comforting to the dude in Virginia who's rotting in a frickin' prison cell. That'll be next. Can't have inoperable firearms. We need to erase them, eradicate them from history. Can't even show the... Remember the child that got in trouble because he ate his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun? Whew, that's where we're going. I don't know. I can tell you right now, this law, even if it does pass, which, let's face it, Colorado's a lost cause. Colorado is... Colorado ain't the West anymore, I'll tell you that. Colorado is a lost cause. Remember a couple of years ago here in Colorado, they were trying to push to have a heroin den established right across the street from the freaking Capitol building. We're all pretty fucked out here, I'll tell you that. But here's the truth. As much as I read through this bill, find it asinine. I remember years ago talking to everybody about, oh my God, the bump stock ban and the bullshit that surrounded that. I said, first off, don't fall for toys. I'm not a big person on toys. You want a full auto, knock yourself out, go buy a full auto. They're fun, no doubt. Bump stock, my own personal thing is they're not for me. But I said, not at all worried about it. It's gonna get struck down. And it took a while. It really did. But it got to the right conclusion. Now, I think everybody was literally chasing the wrong bird when it came to the bump stock ban. Because legitimately, it's hard to say that an accessory to a firearm falls under the Second Amendment. And I know that's going to be a very hot take. I get it. In my head, it's an accessory. The firearm is the important thing to protect. Accessories come and go. I get it. When the FRTs come out, it's not for me. I know where that's going. It doesn't matter if there's an ATF approval. A poor kid in Virginia, he bought a parts kit that was ATF approved. Now he's rotting in a jail cell. If the ATF touched it, I'm not. Period. The end. So that's a one-way ticket to Fedtown. But it seems no matter how illogical, irrational, hyper-emotional these lawmakers are becoming, the courts actually seem to be working hard in the other direction. And I remember for a long time, courts would stay way the F away from any gun case. And it was infuriating. It really was. Now it seems like something's changed. I don't think it was necessarily just the people on the courts that have changed. I think the push has been a bridge too far. I think it's gotten to a point where it's obvious that the lawmakers don't care about the Constitution. You know, if they cared, there's remedy in the Constitution for all this. It's called an amendment. If you think these are all such great ideas that everybody in the public is behind, that everybody in the public is crying for, why is there no amendment to the Constitution? Not that I would support it. I'll be on here every day if something like that were to pop up. But if this is what everybody's crying for and this is what everybody wants, a constitutional amendment would be easy. But we're not talking about constitutional amendments. We're talking about flooding the legislature and flooding the court system with endless legal challenges to blatantly unconstitutional garbage. And I think they're just getting to a point where they're sick of it. I think they're getting to a point where they can no longer justify eating away a little bit from the edges in perpetuity. Win's a win, I guess. This has zero chance of meeting constitutional muster. There's zero chance that a court can look at this and say that, especially under Bruen, that this is constitutional. And that's comforting to a point. But for someone like me, I'm not here for a comfort. I'm not here for good wishes. I abide by the law. Guess what? I abide by the laws that I still find unconstitutional because, I don't know, something inside me says at some point it'll get before a judge and it'll go down. Until then, I can tell you, I don't want the eye of the federal government on me. So I follow the law. I also follow the court cases that are relevant in firearms law. I follow them pretty close. It does seem like we're winning more than we're losing right now. Just a few days ago, I believe, is it Michigan? Assault weapons ban was struck down. There's no way this is going to hold. There's no way at all. No matter how much you redefine your terms and you make up your own words, high capacity magazines. Okay, I can tell you the truth. Truth is, the AR-15 was designed for a 30-round magazine. So that's standard. Truth doesn't matter anymore. When the institutions are obliging by the reconstruction of our language, the truth doesn't matter. Truth is the first to die. All the headlines and the clips, all the new buzzwords of the day, that's what gets recycled. That's what turns into verbal diarrhea. Alright, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this fantastic rant. This is not my usual forte into things, or I read a lot. Mostly I keep my head down, abide by the law, and do my thing. But when these keep hitting over and over and over and over again, status quo isn't enough. We got to actively fight back against this in every state until the Supreme Court comes to their senses and starts striking down things. Start striking down things with a vengeance. Start taking away the capacity for states to do stuff like this. So, there you go, folks. I'm going to call call it the end of this video. So I hope you enjoy this, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a great night.